We take into account your skin, mind, your gut health, your hormones.
You said you started to see patients coming in, being treated, and leaving much more confident in themselves.
When your doctor is a good listener too, half of the job is done. Patient is coming to you already with that low self-esteem and, low confidence because they are worried about the external appearance. When they go back after treatment with, the smile on their faces.
Going through and looking at what kind of soap do I use for my laundry, to wash my dishes, wash my hands.
First thing is that sunscreen is the holy grail, so that has to be used every day.
All right, today I am joined with a very special guest here, Dr. Sidrah, who is the medical founder and consultant at Dr. Sidrah's Skin, Hair, Laser, and Aesthetic Clinic, is a holistic aesthetics practitioner, works in the field of cosmetology, trichology, and skin aesthetics, which is holistic skincare. Her vision is creating a holistic and science-backed destination for advanced skin, hair, and aesthetic wellness, where every patient experiences personalized treatments, visible results, and a sense of well-being inside and out. Dr. Sidrah, it's a pleasure to have you on the show today.
Thank you for the introduction, Arthur. It's been really nice and it's my honor to be here invited for speaking about my journey. So thanks to you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you here. I always like to go back to the start. I love hearing people's story of how they ended up where they are now. Can you just take us back to the origin story of Dr. Sidrah? How did you get into holistic skincare?
So my journey began right from my internship days. So when I was doing my college internship after completing the final year of my college. So that time I got a chance to do different internships in clinics and hospitals. So when I was doing it with a dermatologist, so that's where my interest in dermatology, aesthetics, and skincare began. So what I learned that time was that I was much interested in the field of aesthetics and cosmetology because it is something that improves the overall appearance and it's something that gives confidence to people. So that was at the back of my mind. And when I began treating patients, so I could see all the advanced, technology, innovations, and a lot of treatments which are like science and art together. Also, my foundation in homeopathic science is something which led me to introduce this concept of holistic skincare into my practice. So in this science, we take into account your skin, mind, your gut health, your hormones, and overall health of the patient whenever we are taking any case. The same, started learning about subject known as science. So that's the mind and skin connection. So a lot of diseases which are autoimmune, mainly we can say psoriasis, eczema. So these are something which have that connection with the mind, and that is why it is manifesting as a symptom on the skin. So this foundation helped me to combine the holistic aspect of treating a patient with the skincare and cosmetology aspect. So that's how I did a lot of courses, workshops. After completing my degree, I started my own clinic about 8 years back. And in clinic also, I followed those protocols where I would not just take the skin or hair symptom, but I would also inquire the complete case taking of the patient with respect to how they are feeling mentally, what they think about the disease, or how is it affecting their overall health and mind, taking into account their lifestyle, their nutrition, diet, all these things. So that's how what I saw is that the results, the patient's results after treatment, taking into consideration these factors, were much better compared to only treating them as a symptom or, one part. So mainly skin is an organ, but we see the overall health of the patient so that they gain more confidence. And yeah, that's about how I introduce this concept.
For sure. And so I like that too in terms of looking at the holistic health of the person as opposed to just the symptom. But I do want to go back. I like what you were saying too, is that when you were doing your early internships and you were exploring different clinics and different settings, that what you said was that you started to see like patients coming in, being treated, and leaving much more confident in themselves, right? And I think sometimes people think of, skincare aesthetics as, let's say, superficial, right? But can you just go a little bit deeper in kind of the kinds of transformations that you would see in people in terms of how they would come into their clinic for their first appointment, and then after, so many treatments, kind of how the transformation that they went through.
Yes, so absolutely, that's what I love about my job, because, like, every day you hear people's stories and what they are going through, and that's where the healing takes place. Because when your doctor is a good listener too, half of the job is done. Medicine will treat the patient, but if you are, slightly towards the empathetic side, and you try to make the patient comfortable, because skin aesthetic is a field where patient is coming to you already with that low self-esteem and low
Right.
confidence, because they are worried about the external appearance. So that's where I love about my job, is that I'm able to be there throughout the journey of treatment with them. And when they go back after treatment with the smile on their faces, the confidence, the power mainly to face like people with the confidence that they get with their treatment, is like absolutely amazing. And yeah, I mean, I have had many cases of acne. So I did my thesis on acne condition, where like I treated more than 200 patients with this concept. And
Okay.
yeah, that was amazing to know, because without any antibiotics or without the conventional medicines, we could treat the acne completely. And the best part was that the relapse did not happen as often as it would happen with the conventional treatment.
Right.
So yeah.
And I like what you said there too, in terms of the importance of, as a doctor, to listen to your patients. I think we've all had an experience at least once in our life where we go to see a doctor, a specialist, somebody, and it feels like they're not really actually listening to what we're saying. I've definitely had that experience myself with one of my doctors. Right, he'll ask me a question, and I'll start to answer, but before I can even finish giving like a full answer, he's already cutting me off and kind of telling me, "Oh, well, this and this." I'm like, "Well, you didn't even hear my full story." And so it is nice when somebody actually takes the time to actually listen to everything that you have to say. Curious too, on a personal note, in terms of like a skin journey, let's say, is this something that you personally went through yourself, and so it resonates with you?
Yes, it does. Like during I don't remember exactly, maybe I was 13 or 14, I suppose. I was in school that time. So, like, I developed some patches of psoriasis on my skin. So, that time I used to get a little conscious, and, like, I used to hide it with my socks. So, I used to tell my mom that, like, I would wear long socks, because just so that those patches are not visible.
To
And
hide
yeah,
it.
so one like important, significant aspect of me going into this practice is also my mom. So, the foundation was laid there, because she took me to a homeopathic treatment where the doctor, like, treated my psoriasis, and it went on completely. So, it becomes unbelievable for the conventional treatment, for the conventional practitioners, because they think that it's not treatable. But in my case, it did get treated, and it hasn't come back till date. So, yeah, that was the first experience. And after that, like even during the COVID time, I did suffer from acne rosacea myself, because of, wearing those long hours of mask and the
Right.
plate and everything. So, the skin used to get so much heated up, and it led to problems. And yeah, that time also, it was psychological, of course, because I was like, we were going through that severe stress periods, and like, a lot of overall stress that was there during that period. So yeah, so same I applied in my aspect also. And yeah, it got treated without like medications, heavy medications.
Okay, so initially your doctor, the specialist you were working with, was saying psoriasis is not, there's no cure, it's forever. The best we can do is symptom management.
Yes, so that's how it is like in dermatology in the conventional system. Yes.
Okay, so take us through then. How does one treat this incurable condition?
So, with the alternative medicine therapies, it is possible to treat because there have been a lot of studies and research and cases in the journals. And with personal experience, also, like I've had like patient who is 12-year-old kid and she had like severe psoriasis in her legs, and it got treated with homeopathy and combining the lifestyle changes and also the psychological aspect. And yeah, like that's how it's possible to treat them. And in many
Okay.
of the research papers that I keep reading, they do say that, these autoimmune conditions are related to mental health as well. So that's where we should be taking it into account. So like it's like if we are getting good results with a particular if we are getting good results with combining these alternative therapies and the lifestyle changes, then why not? Because at the end, the aim of the doctor should be to treat the patient and give the minimum suffering, right? So so we should be open to, all the aspects of medicine and not just stick to one conventional method, is what I believe.
Right, right. Well, this is why I like talking to people that work in kind of the holistic healing space, because they do take into account all of the different aspects of being a person and health. Can you just take us through kind of in your words how you would describe holistic skincare and how it's different from standard dermatology?
So during my training period of college, we have that case taking part where for 4 to 5 years we attend patients and like we take cases in detail. So it's a method where there are certain listed headlines. For example, the physical symptoms, the overall mental state of the patient, the emotions they are going through, the intellectual and overall of the patient, and also the effects and reactions, and also the environmental factors. For example, some people are more sensitive to maybe cold seasons, or some people are more sensitive to rainy seasons, so that also we take into account. And it's a proper case taking, and along with it, the thirst and the water intake of the patient, the sleep, especially how is
Hmm.
the sleep of the patient, if they are having a good sleep or they are having disturbed sleep, or at least the rest is important, so that we take into account. And also the diet and appetite and nutrition part, and also the gut health, because that also is related to our mind in some, like, and many research papers also say that. So for example, rosacea is kind of related to gut health as well, so we advise the patient to have more of probiotics, or reduce the spice intake, and so these things help in.
Must be difficult. That must be difficult in India.
Yeah, definitely, because yeah.
So again, I like that you take that holistic approach where you're looking at, again, not just treating symptoms, but you're looking at, are they sleeping well? Are they hydrated? Are they eating good clean food? Are they getting physical exercise, right? What's their mental and emotional state? Like, do they have good support networks and friends and things like that? I'm
Hmm.
also curious. I mean, you mentioned environmental factors,
Hmm.
and when I hear that, I think of, some of the like chemicals that we apply to our body that we think are standard and normal, but maybe have impacts. One that I'm very guilty of, I don't know if you can see on my shelf behind me, but I've got a bit of a fragrance, a cologne collection, and it's something that I'm personally I'm torn up inside because I really like fragrance, but more and more as I do research, I'm like, is it actually good for me to spray that on me? And so I've actually been working on reducing the amount that I've been spraying fragrance, and I've been doing things like going through and looking at what kind of soap do I use for my laundry? What kind of soap do I use to wash my dishes, wash my hands? What kind of shampoo am I using, right? And I've really made an effort in my life to kind of reduce, simplify, use cleaner products where I can eliminate using products altogether, but where I still need to use dish soap. So trying to have cleaner dish soap as an example. Do you also work with patients to kind of explore their chemical environment of kind of the products or the things that they use in their life that they're applying to their skin or on their body?
Yes, so I do ask about the cosmetic history as well, like, what products they have been using, and the ones which I am giving a routine, I would also try to simplify it as much as possible, because sometimes, like, too many things is not required only in like some cases. So very simple routine consisting of the basics, like moisturizer, sunscreen, a cleanser. But I do make sure that whichever products I am suggesting it to, them should be something that I or my family can use it. So if I am conscious about that, then definitely, like, I would suggest that to my patients. So mainly I would also see the ingredients, the labels. So for example, sunscreen. So I prefer giving more of mineral sunscreens. So yeah, I do take into account, and more of like, natural herbs, for example, calendula or something which is more organic.
Right. So can you take us through then, if you're, let's say you're onboarding a new patient, and just kind of take us through again, what is that discovery process like, where you're finding out about their life, their habits, all of that? Can you take us through that a little bit?
Yeah, so it's like the initial consultation is a bit in detail, and then when they are coming for follow up, it's more quicker. So yeah, in the initial consultation, like we begin with what they are suffering from, like whatever symptoms or whatever cosmetic concern they have, and we just have it like a chat. So it's more like, making them comfortable. And then
Hmm.
once you are also listening to them and you're making them comfortable, they also open up with a lot of things. And I also, because I studied the psychodermatology, so I can also relate to certain emotions attached with certain conditions. So whenever I'm going with the flow of the conversation, I try to like inquire and let them speak about the emotions that they're going through. And that's how, like, it's more of a chat, not like, a very like a strict case taking, but yeah, more of a chat. And many times it happens that, even they get aware of the emotions that they are going through, and, like the 50% of job is already done there. So with that aspect, if I'm giving them a skincare routine or prescription, it works much better, because already they are mentally prepared in their mind. So, when they are consciously using the products or consciously having that routine, it helps to heal them much better. So, yeah, so I would just like to mention one quote that I have put up in my clinic, like, I have
Hmm.
put up as a poster. So, it's like, it's not about prescribing or suggesting products or routines to the patient, but it is about making them more vibrant, more healed, and helping them to be the best version of themselves. So that's what
Right.
I believe, and I try to practice it in my clinic as well.
Well, I like what you were saying there too, in terms of the importance of actively listening to what they have to say, because what it sounds to me like, you build a lot more trust and relationship and connection with your patients, with that, which then encourages, inspires them to actually follow through. They say, okay, I like working with Dr. Sidrah. I like her vibe. She's actually here with me. And people are then more likely to actually follow through, to listen to your instructions and do what you have to say. Is that fair to say?
Yes, yes, absolutely. And like, I truly believe that our mind is capable of infinite possibilities. So it's more of like, I'm just giving them a support, but it's themselves who are like healing themselves, like that.
Right. And I'm curious too. So when I was reading your intro, we talked about the words cosmetology and trichology, and I was going to say, for those of us who don't know, could you just explain a little bit about what those words mean? Because when I first saw the word cosmetology, where my brain went was cosmology, like the study of the cosmos in the universe. So what is cosmetology and trichology? I can't even say it.
So, cosmetology is mainly the study of skincare and, like treating the cosmetic concerns of the patient with the help of tools and techniques that are available, mainly beauty related or aesthetic related concerns. So that's cosmetology. And trichology is study of hair and hair disorders, mainly hair fall, dandruff. So we treat that as well.
Okay. Okay. And what would you say are the most common conditions that you see and treat in your clinic?
So acne is one of the common concerns, and hair fall is also one of the common concerns in last few years is what I have observed, like the post-COVID era.
Sorry, did you say hair loss
Yes, that the
in
cases are increased.
both men and women, or?
Yes, the cases are increased now comparatively is what I have observed. And because it could be because it was a viral disease, so possibly, the after effects might have caused the increase in hair fall. And acne is most common, pigmentation. Overall, they want a more even tone, glowing, and brighter skin. So sometimes it's like they might not have any medical condition, but they just want to be the best version of themselves. So that's where we help them to achieve that through a customized routine and an individualized care. So not every product is suited to every skin type or every individual. So I try to make it more of a customized routine.
Right. Okay. And I'm curious too. So for anybody who's maybe been considering getting some aesthetic work done, but maybe they're at a point in their lives where they can't quite afford it. Like they're thinking. Can you still hear me? Okay.
Just a minute, I'll just take a few seconds. So there was a little disturbance in the noise. So
All good. All
yes.
good. So as
Can
things
you repeat this question again, please? Sorry.
For sure. So for anybody who's been considering getting some aesthetic work done, they want to clear up their skin, for example, but maybe they're at a point in their life where they don't quite have the money yet to hire somebody like you. Are there any kind of simple um, like treatments or things that people can do at home, kind of on their own, that could help them on their journey to start clearing up their skin?
Yes, there's since a long time, there has been a myth in aesthetics that, skin aesthetics is only luxury. But, I'm trying to, change that narrative, because I believe that everyone should be, have explain it, like it should be accessible to everyone, because everyone wants to look their best. And
Right.
the cost factor shouldn't be something which stops them, because it's also related to their confidence. So I believe that skincare should be accessible to everyone. And what I try to do for my patients is that I'm not trying to give them too many options or like too many procedures. So what I do is that, for example, if they are coming for multiple concerns, or maybe we could first start with the basics and try to treat what is most required first, and then we start a home care routine. And I also give them options to treat like in clinic as well, but together, if they feel that no, I just want to go with the routine, so I'm also open to that and add some ingredients, because sometimes it's like they haven't followed any routine. Only, for example, they haven't been using a sunscreen, so that's also aggravating the condition, or it's making it worse. So at least start with that, and then you may come back after a month, or in the follow up we could add some treatments that would enhance. But if we don't start somewhere, then anyways the skin is getting worse if we are not following at least a basic routine. So yeah, that's how.
Right. Right. So you mentioned the basics. Are there certain basics that just everybody should be doing, regardless of whether they hire an aesthetician? I can't. Sorry, I'm struggling with the word esthetician. Are there, again, just certain basic foundational things that everybody should be doing to take care of their skin?
Yes, of course. So regardless of where they are located in the world, so first thing is that sunscreen is the holy grail. So that has to be used every day, and the
And so
moisturizer.
that's because sun damage from the sun is something that's going to impact everybody. Can we just talk real quick about sunscreen? Are there certain like good sunscreens is kind of what I'm trying to say, ones that are better for the skin?
Yeah, so there are certain ingredients, as I mentioned before, that, I prefer to giving the mineral sunscreens which have zinc oxide. So that's more safer. Like even, kids can use it, and it is like a physical blocker. So it doesn't get absorbed completely. So it like creates a barrier onto your skin, and then it reflects the UV radiation. So that's how it protects the skin, and more
Okay,
on
so
the
that's
safer
zinc.
side. Yeah.
oxide based
Based, yeah.
sunscreen.
Yes. So that's what I prefer giving. And yeah, I mean, you should be applying every day because, like, we don't realize the damage on daily basis if we are not applying. But in the long run, then we see after like some years compared to someone who is using a sunscreen, the damage is much less. And also, not just the pigmentation concerns, but also the overall collagen production goes down with the UV damage. So that's what something we should be preventing. So it's anti-aging plus the aesthetic aspect together.
I'm actually curious about this because this is something that I've been exploring a little bit myself, right? And I'm just trying to understand because on one level, I understand too much sun exposure is bad. Like we all know, way too much sun exposure leads to skin cancer. I know here you're talking about like even just your small amounts kind of day to day. On the other side of the equation, though, I think some sun exposure is good. Like humans, evolved for however many thousands of years out in the wild, being exposed to the sun. Our bodies produce vitamin D when we're exposed to sun. So is there like a balance point? Like, should we get a little bit of sun? What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, so this question does come up from some of the patients as well. So see, we need to create a balance for that. So what I would suggest them is that you take the sunlight before 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. because then the UV index is the least. So
Okay,
that
so
time
very early in the morning,
early.
go out, get some sunlight. Okay.
Yes, that's okay. And then after 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., the UV index goes up. So the time that you should be using your sunscreen mainly is from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's the high UV index. So yeah, so that's how I suggest them to use it late afternoon or like early, like after 10 a.m. So that's how we create the balance.
Okay, and I've also heard too the importance of getting sunlight early in the morning in terms of managing our circadian rhythm because it helps it to tell our body, hey, it's morning time, it's time to wake up, it's time to get on with the day. So would you recommend almost that somebody goes and, basically like an early morning walk to get out, get some initial sunlight to wake up to get ready for the day?
Yes, yes, definitely, because it will boost your mood. It will overall, like it will boost, mainly give more motivation to go throughout the day. So definitely a half an hour walk is recommended. It will balance out your good hormones. It will give you like a boost to start the day.
And I'm curious too on that because you mentioned the importance of balanced hormones in terms of skincare. Do you work with patients to actually do blood work and to find out what their hormonal levels are?
Yes, yes, I do because most of the acne cases are related to the hormonal conditions too. So we do get them investigated and then, we also work on that aspect to like overall make some changes or also add on some good supplements in the routine so that the hormonal aspect is also managed together with treating the skin.
Okay, and this is something that I'm also interested in myself is again understanding hormones, having them well balanced. What are some of the herbs or techniques that or supplements that if you see somebody has unbalanced hormones and do you work with both men and women or just women?
So the percentage is like 80-20, I would say. So 80% is women and 20% male patients.
Okay, so I'm curious then because I'm guessing, men and women you're going to have slightly different approaches to balancing their hormones. Just curious if you can share some of the supplements or herbs or techniques that you would use in that.
Yeah, so like I prefer giving some antioxidants in their routines. For example, glutathione or vitamin C, vitamin E. Also, like there are combinations such as selenium and multiple combinations in one capsule. So something like that would overall improve the health and also overall improve the condition that they are suffering from.
Okay. Okay. I'm curious just to switch gears a little bit here because you mentioned, almost a decade ago you opened your own clinic, and I'm also very fascinated in just talking to business owners, entrepreneurs about the experience, because it's one thing to, go to school and to learn about a subject, then actually opening your own clinic and becoming a business owner is a whole different set of skills. And I'm just wondering if you could take us through that journey of what it was like when you first opened your clinic and you became a business owner.
Yes, so the journey is not like, easy as it seems to be. So people always see the, tip of the iceberg, but there are a lot of factors which we go through, when we are trying to build something and go into business and, like start our own setup. So yes, so there were things like, anxiety or some thoughts coming in, like, how it would go. Then also the market competition around. And then, when you're starting early, so it's like, you are just like a small fish in the sea. And
Hmm.
so it was kind of it was kind of overwhelming, but at the same time, I had like support of my family and sister, and also had that thing in mind that, if I am starting something to heal people and with a good intention that, I'm trying to make some positive changes in someone's life, then definitely, like with that passion and hard work, you will get success. So that was at the back of the mind that, yeah, if I'm starting something for benefit of people, then it would give me success.
Right. Right. Having that clear mindset and intention of I'm here to do good, I'm here to help people, I'm here to make a positive impact in the world. I'm curious too in terms of opening your clinic, because I'd imagine, you'd need to get some kind of office space, so you're renting office space, that you need to get equipment for your office. Was there a large amount of, let's say, initial capital investment to get started?
Yes, it does. I mean, that was yeah, taken care by, like, my own savings, because I was like working during my internship as well, and
Right.
also help and support from my family. So, yes.
Okay. And then, so you open a new clinic, and do you like, how do people start to find out about you? Are you doing marketing? Is it all word of mouth? Like, how do you start to get your initial clients?
So initially, like, yeah, I did use like Instagram to, like, let people know about my journey and everything. So I used to post about my concept and about my treatments and everything. So the first, second patient came in the clinic. So I remember clearly that, she was a student. And so, like the consultation fees was something which she told me that, I won't be able to give completely. So, like, I reduced it to 50% just so that, she can get through it. And yeah, so that's what I remember. And after that, what I know is that I've always had referrals. So I did not, like, spend much on marketing or anything, but it was more like, patient to patient. So, like, I have patients who are like, the entire family is coming to me, right from the grandpa to, like, the kid. So it's more of referrals for me because of the feedbacks that we get from them. And yeah, Instagram and social media is also helping a lot.
Okay, so very strong word of mouth, that you start working with your initial clients. They have a great experience with you, so then they start referring you to their friends, their family. I like what you said about working with the whole family, from the kids to the grandparents. I find that very cute. I like that. And have you like, I'm curious too, like, have you invested in paid marketing, or you're purely just posting on Instagram?
So I just try to, like, post it about like what is my, like, concept and philosophy and how much I could educate the patients. So yeah, that's about it. I haven't, like, tried the paid marketing yet.
Okay. And just out of curiosity, because again, I also have a background in marketing, so I find this stuff very interesting. In terms of when you're posting on Instagram, can you just take us through a little bit about, like, your posting frequency? Are you doing it once a day, once a week? What types of posts are you putting up? Are they photos? Are they videos? Are they personal stories? Can you share a little bit about your strategy there?
So it has been a long journey. So like my page is almost 8 years old now. So like
Okay.
initially it used to be more of basics of skincare and how to educate the patients on how do they select certain products or what conditions we see commonly. I mean, initially I used to like post some informative post related to a treatment or related to the skincare and the aesthetic concerns of the patient. And we also post some stories with the consent of the patient, like if they are comfortable sharing their feedback or if they are comfortable like showing them through videos or like that. So yeah, even some of the before afters, if like the patient is giving us consent, so we also used to post that. Yeah, I mean the algorithm keeps changing a lot. We
Yep.
try to experiment. So nowadays, I feel the reels are working more, so I try to post about that.
Okay. Okay. Using the Instagram Reels. Are you also on TikTok?
No, so it's currently banned in India.
Oh, right. Yes, I do remember hearing about that. Are there alternatives to TikTok, or I guess the alternative would be Instagram Reels?
It's Instagram and Facebook. That's it.
Got it. Okay. What were some of the unexpected challenges on this journey of launching your own business? What were some of the things that things that you ran into that you weren't expecting that you had to go through and deal with?
As far as I remember that maybe like just, about the initial like, the anxiety that, we have invested so much and then like, how the journey would go. But yeah, I keep like, also try to keep up with everything that I'm doing. Like, I try to upgrade my skills and upgrade my knowledge so that I can give, better to the patient. And with the feedbacks also we try to improve like what the patients are liking, what they are not liking, so we try to keep up with that as well. Yeah, I mean only the initial like few months were like I have to do this, I have to do this. It was more of a motivation. And yeah, during the COVID period it was slightly stressful because that time like we were off work for a few months and then like we resumed, so that was a little challenging, that like that time, because we had to see the face of the patient and we couldn't tell them to just cover themselves. So in terms of that also it was little challenging, but I guess it's life, so you just go through it as per the capacity that you have.
Right. Yes, I'm sure COVID would have been very challenging on many levels there. I'm curious too, like if we're talking about, let's say, taking your business to the next level, what do you feel like is one thing that if you could solve it, if you could improve it, if you could make it go away, what would be one thing that would help you to get to that next level in your business?
In what aspects, like if you could specify?
I mean, it's an open-ended question, right? Could be any aspect, but it could be from a marketing point of view. It could be from like internal operations point of view, like around, I don't know, for example, hiring staff or being able to purchase certain types of equipment. Or, yeah, are there any kind of daily frustrations that you experience in your business that every day you wake up and you wish, I wish I could make that go away. I wish I could fix that.
Yeah, so because I am from a science background, so somewhere I feel that, people from the commerce background or who know the business, I mean, who have been to the business school, it's comparatively like, they can do it easier, because some of the terms like I don't like try to study more about it, like how to build up more of the business or some of like techniques or tricks that we have. So right now it's more like a localized clinic, so definitely I would like to spread this across the entire country and internationally as well, because the concept and the unique concept is giving me the good feedbacks, giving results to the patient, but somewhere I feel that I'm not able to get this message to more people. So it's
Okay.
like locally yes, but like on a platform where we could get this concept nationally or internationally.
Right. So do you mean like franchising? So there'd be other like other clinics, but spread out across the country. Do you know what's just curious? Do you know kind of what's preventing you at the moment from making that happen?
Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe I need to like study a bit about this, business concepts and, upgrade myself in that aspect. And also, uh, again, it's a huge investment. So, it's not possible for me alone to like, open so many franchises or clinics. So, yes.
Right, right. So this is this is where on one level you've learned um, aesthetics, skin treatment. Now we're really talking about the business side of things. So this might involve, you know, coming up with a pitch for investors to get other people involved, invested in this, and then start opening up different franchises. It's definitely a very different skill set. Okay, I'm curious here. I feel like we're about at time here. I'm just curious if there's any other thoughts that you'd like to share on this topic that people should know about, either about skin treatment or about yourself.
So I would like to tell people that don't fall for only the online information that is available, as in there are a lot of things, so there are multiple things that we see online, but not all the trends or all the trends are something which could be safer. So always consult a specialist or consult someone who has that background and not who can guide you well. So sometimes it can cause some harm as well. So yeah, I mean, don't try to just experiment everything by seeing what you see online.
Okay. Have you seen some, let's say, horror stories of like somebody comes to you and they says, "Hey, I saw this, I saw this, trending thing on Instagram and I tried it and things went badly." Have you seen those kind of stories?
Yeah, so we do see some of the cases where they have applied garlic on their skin to like get rid of acne or like toothpaste. I mean, we are not sure that from the person who is giving you information is actually trying it on themselves, or they are just trying to put it across for some views.
Just to get
So
more
it
views,
has,
right?
yeah, so it has happened that, it has burned the skin or made it more sensitive. Then it becomes difficult for us also to treat that condition because it's already gotten worse.
Got it. Okay. And I'm just curious, while we're on the subject, like, are there any other negative trends that people should be aware of? So, no garlic, no toothpaste, anything else people should be aware of not to try?
Maybe the ice challenge, I'm not sure. But yeah, the ice challenge because it can also cause cold burns.
Was that the ice bucket challenge where people were dumping ice on themselves?
So there's a face ice challenge also, which was going on some time back, where they would just dip their faces in ice cold water. Not
Like a bowl of ice and
yes,
just put their face in it?
yes. So not everyone's skin would. I mean, some might be sensitive, and that could also like worsen some conditions.
Okay, so some people might get ice burns from that.
Not burns exactly, but more, make it more sensitive, like the redness or.
Got it. Okay. Um, Dr. Sidra, for anybody who's been listening to this and they love what you've had to say and they're interested in working with you, where can people find out more about you?
Yeah, so I would be like giving my Instagram and LinkedIn profile where they can contact me, also my email ID, so they can contact me.
For sure. So I will share in the show notes down below all your links so people are able to find you. And right now, are you just working with people in person in your clinic?
Yeah, so we do offline as well as online consultations as
Okay, so you can work with people internationally?
yes, yes, we do have patients from US, Canada, Middle East. Like, they try to come once a year and then we try to give them the routine. So if they are here for few months, so like we treat them and then we give them the routine for the entire year where they can. So yeah, one more thing I would like to add is that, whenever I'm going through giving a routine to a patient or treating them for like initial whatever period we have told, like 2 months or 3 months, but I also make sure that they are educated about their skin so that they can follow through with the coming months, so that they would not need me for forever like that. So we try to build that routine.
Right. Give them the tools and the structures and the routines so they can work on taking care of themselves. Dr. Sidrah, this has been an absolute pleasure connecting today and hearing your story and how you help people. I really want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much. Nice talking
Fantastic.
to you.
Fantastic. Until next time.